Bite Force presented by the Danbury Public Library. Our goal in this program is to see if we can discover which animal has the strongest bite in all the animal kingdom. But before we do that, we should probably figure out what bite force actually is. See, bite force is the amount of pressure that the jaws can produce when biting down. And the strange thing is, the sharpness of the teeth and the number of teeth an animal has does not necessarily increase the bite force. The amount of pressure an animal can produce when they bite down is dependent on the size of the muscles the animal has in its jaw, as well as the shape of the mandible and a certain part of the skull. So to help us to see these parts of the anatomy, we're going to have some friends of mine visit. So this here is Mr. Skullhead. As you can see, Mr. Skullhead is a replica of a human skull. And then we have Yogi. Yogi is a replica of a Kodiak bear. It's one of the biggest bears running around on the earth today. And as I said, these two are replicas. That means they're not real. They are devices that people who are interested in osteology use to learn. Osteology is the study of bones. So we're going to use these two to help us see how skulls are built. So to start, we're going to talk about the mandible. The mandible is your lower jaw. So this is Yogi's mandible. It's quite big, right? Yeah. And the first thing you probably notice are these sharp teeth. But as I said, the teeth are not important to the bite force. What is important is this back area here. Look how huge this is. And it's big and it's kind of flat, right? Yeah. This part of the mandible is where the jaw muscles attach to. It goes up on us, that would be up around here. So if we were to take this and compare to our friend Mr. Skullhead here, which is about the size of an average human, you can see Mr. Skullhead's mandible is much smaller than Yogi's, right? Yeah. The bigger the mandible, and especially the bigger the part is right here, the more muscles that can attach to it and the stronger those jaw muscles are. So big mandibles equal big, powerful bites. Now, if we were to look at Mr. Skullhead's skull here, we notice it's very smooth and round, isn't it? It is. Us humans have smooth, round skulls. There's no extra bones sticking out of the top of our heads. But if we look at Yogi, Yogi's skull starts nice and smooth, but right here we get a rough edge. And if we look really close, we can see it actually dips in. So it kind of looks like he has a bit of a fin, doesn't he? This fin, this back part that sticks up, this is a sagittal crest. Sagittal crests are very important for bite force. The taller the sagittal crest, the stronger the bite. Because just like that big flat area of the mandible, side cheek here, the bigger that area is, and the bigger the sagittal crest, the more muscles that can attach here. The muscles that attach up here are the same ones that attach to the mandible down here. One big, long, powerful cord of muscle, which means animals that have big mandibles and big sagittal crests have a wicked bite. So between our two friends today, Yogi here and Mr. Skullhead, who do you think has the stronger bite? If you said Yogi, you're correct. Kodiak bears have a much stronger bite than us humans do. Kodiak bears are a form of grizzly bears, and grizzly bears have a bite force of around 1,160 psi, which means pounds per square inch. That's a powerful bite. Now us humans, we have a much lower bite force. We come in at 162 psi, or pounds per square inch. We have a decent sized mandible for our skull size, but we are completely lacking that sagittal crest. Again, the back of our skulls are completely smooth. So, while we have pretty good muscles that are connecting here to give us our good bite, is nowhere near as strong as a Kodiak bear, like Yogi here is. Still, that's more than enough for us to eat just about anything that we want to eat. It can also actually do some damage to our own teeth. So if you ever get like really mad and you clench your jaw down, you go, "Argh." If you do that a lot, your jaw and your teeth might hurt after a bit, wouldn't they? Yeah, they do. And if you have this thing where you sometimes when you sleep grind your teeth in your sleep, that can also cause problems too and make your teeth hurt. And the reason for that is that 162 psi that we can produce with our jaws is enough to wear down enamel. Enamel is the white covering on our teeth. It's the part that protects the inner squishy bits of our teeth. And when we get cavities and they start to eat away, they're eating away at our enamel. So if we aren't careful and we clench our jaws a lot or we grind our teeth, even though we don't have an extremely powerful bite force, we still have strong enough muscles to wear down that very important enamel that's on the front of our teeth. Still, our 162 psi bite is nowhere near as powerful as the best biters in the world, like this week's animal, the polar bear. Now, polar bears look cute and cuddly, but don't let their looks fool you. These guys are powerful creatures. They have massive paws that are around 12 inches wide. That's 1 whole foot across just for a paw. Can you believe it? Male polar bears can reach heights of up to 5 feet at their shoulders and grow to 7 to 8 feet long. If that's not intimidating enough, when they rear up on their hind legs, these bundles of fluff and muscle can stand up to 10 feet tall. That is taller than the ceiling in most houses. Can you imagine a big, huge bear standing on its hind legs and its head is going taller and through your ceiling? That's a big bear. They're also heavy. Male polar bears can weigh between 770 to 1,540 pounds. In fact, the polar bear is the largest bear currently living on the earth. Okay, so we know that they're big, but how powerful are their jaws? Does that big muscular body equal a powerful bite? It does. Polar bears are ranked 8 out of 10 of the strongest jaws in the animal kingdom. That means there's only 7 animals above them with more powerful bites. Like our friend Yogi, they have large, thick mandibles with this big sweeping area up here where all those jaw muscles can connect. They also have a sagittal crest like Yogi has. In fact, theirs is taller and longer because their skull is longer than Yogi's. So, bigger sagittal crest with a big, powerful mandible means a wicked bite. Polar bears have a bite force of 1,200 pounds per square inch. That's massive. That is more than the spotted hyena, tigers, and even lions. In fact, that is enough force to bite through a cast iron skillet. And yes, it could very easily bite through bone. This is one powerful animal with a massive set of jaws. So what does an animal that large and with such powerful jaws eat? Well, the joking answer is whatever it wants. But the thing is, that's actually kind of true. Polar bears are carnivores. This means they are meat eaters. Their favorite foods are seals, especially ringed seals and bearded seals. But they will eat any meat that they can find and catch. Any meat. Now, luckily for us, they're not native to Connecticut. They prefer to live in the frigid cold of the Arctic Circle. So the chances of us running into a polar bear are very, very slim. Which, really, considering how big they are and how strong their jaws are, it's probably for the best that we don't actually see them running in the wild, right? Yeah. So today we've uncovered who has the 8th strongest jaw in the animal kingdom. Tune in next time where we discover who's the 7th strongest. Until then, stay curious. Bye everyone!